ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome back everyone to this Rajavidya Rajaguhya series. In the last 1 week, we discussed the first 7 shlokas of the ninth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and today we'll discuss the eighth shloka. Eighth shloka is very interesting. In the seventh shloka, Krishna said that the universe goes into sleep mode periodically. At the beginning of the day of Brahma, all the living beings become active. They enter into different bodies, different species, different planets, and they start doing their activities. But at the end of the day of Brahma, the universe is dissolved. The living beings in these planets in the universe, they go into sleep mode. They go into inactive mode. And in the beginning of the next day of Brahma, again they are recreated. That's what we discussed yesterday in the seventh shloka. Now, in the eighth shloka, Krishna continues the same thing. Basically, the purpose of this repeated creation and destruction of this universe is to give us one more chance to revive our spiritual consciousness. Let's see. Eighth shloka. Prakritim swam avashtabhya vishrujami punah punah bhutagramam imam kritsnam avasham prakritirvashat. प्रकृतिं स्वाम् अवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्रामम् इमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्. So Krishna says, Swam means I personally. Avashtabhya, enter. Where? Prakriti, this material nature. I enter into the material nature. Clear? And what does Krishna do entering in the material nature? Visrijami, I create. Punaha punaha, again and again, repeatedly. I enter into the material nature and cause this creation repeatedly. And bhutagramam imam krishnam. Krishnam is totality. Bhutagrama means all the material manifestation. So I enter into Prakriti and again carry out this creation of this total material manifestation. So for the universe and all its 14 planetary systems to manifest and all the living entities to take on different forms, Krishna has to enter, right? Krishna has to enter into the universe and make it active, carry out this creation. And avasham prakriter vashat, under my will, under Krishna's will, everything is again annihilated by the force of Maya. Basically, Maya is material nature, Prakriti. Prakriti or Maya, it works under the superintendence of Krishna, which Krishna describes in the next shloka. But basically, by Krishna's will, this Prakriti is carrying out this creation and destruction again and again, and it is only because of Krishna's entrance into Prakriti it's happening. So thus Krishna is only carrying out this creation of material world again and again. So Krishna carries out this material creation and material dissolution repeatedly only for the purpose of giving us another opportunity to surrender to him. Let's get into details. So the universes are being created and annihilated again and again according to Krishna's will. So initially universe is created and it is sustained or maintained for some time, right? During the day of Brahma or full lifetime of Brahma, and at the right time it is annihilated, it's destroyed, and again creation begins, and the cycle continues. So all this repeated creation and maintenance and destruction is meant to give us an opportunity to reconnect with Krishna. So we all are meant to reconnect with Krishna. Basically, the soul during the creation phase gets an opportunity to enter a material body. Some species. And fortunate souls, because of their past karma, they enter into human bodies. And amongst these human beings, some fortunate human beings, they get an opportunity to associate with devotees and practice bhakti yoga. And by practicing bhakti, the process of devotional service, they have an opportunity to quit this material world and transcend this cycle of birth and death and get out of this repeated cycle of creation and destruction and enter the spiritual world. Where there is no birth, there is no death. There is no creation, there is no destruction. There is complete absorption in Krishna's service, right? But if the human beings, if they don't take this opportunity that Krishna has given in human life to practice bhakti yoga and get liberated from this material world, Krishna has to destroy it, destroy the material world, and again recreate it to give another opportunity. Right? Material world, Krishna doesn't maintain it continuously, right? He periodically creates and destroys, creates and destroys, creates and destroys. So, in the next destruction, in the next cycle of creation, whether we take birth again or not depends on how we utilize this opportunity in this human life to practice bhakti yoga, right? So, basically, by the end of one destruction, if we still have some material desires to be fulfilled, to to execute those material desires, we have to take one more birth, right? So, we need to give up all our material desires or transform all those material desires into spiritual desires and divert them towards the service of Krishna. Otherwise, if we still maintain material desires in the heart, if we still aspire for material enjoyment, wealth, name, fame, prestige, influence, followers in this world, if we still have some interest in this world, asakti in this world, we have to take one more birth, one more birth, one more birth. Now you see, sometimes we have desires. Oh, if only I'm a great singer. If only I'm a multimillionaire. If only I can get to go to that country and enjoy there. If only I can explore the pleasures there. So all this, if only, if only I am like this, if only I were like this, if all these thoughts, questions are basically seeds for our next life. If you have a desire to mm, become a multimillionaire and you're not, and you're unable to do it this lifetime, to fulfill that desire, we have to enter another species or another body in the next life, probably. And maybe after a few lifetimes, we may fulfill that desire because along with desire, we should also deserve. So you have a desire, but you don't deserve it now. So the desire is not fulfilled. So you need to acquire the qualification to fulfill the desire. And to acquire that qualification, material qualification to fulfill the material desire, you have to go through certain material lives. Too much, right? It's very scary. My God, just to fulfill this desire, I have to undergo 10 lifetimes. It's not worth it. Let me desire to chant. Let me desire to serve Krishna. Let me go back to Godhead. That is the best course of action. But because the conditioned souls have so many material desires, Krishna has to take so many forms to create and annihilate this world. Now Krishna is happily staying in his eternal abode, Goloka Vrindavan Dham. Wonderful activities are happening there. Beautiful pastimes are happening there with his loving devotees. But the Lord also manifests different forms. He becomes Karanodakasaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu. And when he breathes out, millions and millions of universes come out of this of his bodily pores. And that Mahavishnu enters into each universe as Garbhotakasaya Vishnu. And from his navel, Brahma takes birth. Right? And also there's another form of the Lord. Within this universe, there is a Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. He lies in the milk ocean. And he expands himself as super soul, as Paramatma into the hearts of every living being. Thus, there are three Purusha avatars, three Vishnus. One is Mahavishnu, who lies in the causal ocean or Karana ocean. Second is Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, who lies in the Garbhodaka ocean. He enters into each universe. And there is third Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. He enters into every living and non-living entity and atom in this world and maintains them. Total three Vishnus. All three are super souls. Like Mahavishnu is the super soul of entire material realm. And Garbhodakasaya Vishnu is the super soul or Paramatma of one individual universe. And Kshirodakasaya Vishnu is Paramatma or super soul of every single living being and every single atom. Thus, although the Lord is one, he manifests in multiple forms so that he can maintain this material creation. But why it has to happen? Because we have desires. At the time of death, we have so many desires. Throughout the life, so we may do so many activities. These people are gambling here. This person is this person is drinking here, and somebody is reading Bhagavad Gita here. So somebody is playing video games here. Basically, throughout the life, we have so many choices and desires and activities. At the end of our life, at the time of death, we die with certain desires. So now, and next birth, we take birth to fulfill those desires. Right now, uh, during one day of Brahma, people are undergoing so many lifetimes, right, according to their choices. But at the end of the day of Brahma, there is a dissolution of the entire universe. And the beginning of the next day of Brahma, there is creation of the universe. Then all the living beings enter into different species. During the dissolution time, all the living beings go into sleep mode. In the next creation time, they again enter into different species according to their past karmas, past desires. So that's how our last thoughts declare our next birth. If somebody is very clean and mean, cruel and mean and selfish, they have to take birth in lower species. If somebody is very charitable, kind, and live a good life, pious activities they do, they appear in wealthy and beautiful families. And if somebody performs devotional activities, they enter into the spiritual world. So this is called papa karma, and this is called punya karma. This is called bhakti karma, right? I think we discussed it in Purushottam Yoga series also. Papa karma means sinful activities that lead us to lower species and hellish planets. Punya karma means pious activities that lead us to higher births and in higher planets, better enjoyment, but material enjoyment. But bhakti karma means devotional activities that lead us to the spiritual world. So when you do bhakti karmas and go to the spiritual world, when you perform devotional service, chant the names of the Lord, and hear Krishna's pastimes, so that will take us to the spiritual world, and we don't have to go through the cycle of birth and death again. Basically, Krishna doesn't interfere with our independence. He facilitates the fulfillment of all our desires. If we have material desires, yes, Krishna says, okay, fine, take one more birth to fulfill the material desire. But if we have spiritual desire, Krishna says, okay, come to me. So Krishna doesn't interfere with our desires. That is his glory. So, in short, to summarize what we have discussed so far, the universe is being created and annihilated repeatedly. And this is being carried out by three Vishnus: Mahavishnu, Garbhotakasaya Vishnu, Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. Of course, this is a bit beyond the scope of this shloka, but I just mentioned it in this context. And the living entities are undergoing this cycle of birth and death or creation and annihilation because of their material desires. But if they desire to serve Krishna, they will reach Krishna by practicing bhakti. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll discuss the ninth shloka. हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।